Hey guys, I'm Nick.
And I'm Tony.
And we're the Sicilian brothers, and today we're continuing on with our acronym series. So next up on the list is LTV. Tony, what does LTV mean or stand for?
The LTV is the loan to value, right?
Okay.
So
when does that come into play? Like how does that matter to us or you as an investor?
the LTV is based on what you're buying the property for divided by what its value is, right? So in theory, most of us buy at 75% LTV, meaning 75% of what the property is worth is what I'm gonna loan off of, or 70% of what the property is worth is what I'm gonna loan off of. So if you have a $100,000 house, most lenders are gonna loan between $70,000 and $75,000 total on that property. And that's not what you should pay for it per se, that's just what the loan is gonna be.
Roger that.
So based off of your loan to value,
Yeah.
again, using the $100,000 marquee because it's easy numbers for idiots like us, if you were to pay $75,000 for a $100,000 house, you'd be buying it at 75% of its ARV. So we talked about ARV, we just talked about loan to value, right? There's also something called loan to ARV, which is another acronym that people use out there, because you could also buy off of the as-is value.
So even if we're not talking about loans, right? So as an investor, does that formula ever change? Is it sometimes it's okay to maybe go higher in LTV for different reasons?
Yeah, so I think the important thing to realize is that you are buying based off of your parameters. You're not buying off of my parameters. You're buying off of whatever your hopeful return is, right? So
Also your exit strategy, right? So whether or not it's a flip or a rental, possibly buying a hold, maybe buying a hold, you might go a little bit higher.
Again, I personally don't change my numbers based off of my exit strategy. Yes, there are some people that will buy differently. Some people in certain areas will pay less, but if they are doing a higher rate of return or they're looking for a higher rate of return, so you buy less, right? So you buy it a little bit deeper. Or if you're okay making a little bit less because you have a different strategy, you can pay a little bit more for it. So maybe you're okay paying 75% for one specific property, but then maybe it's in a developing area where property values are going to change because there's a new park or a new town center coming in and you want to pay a little bit more. Maybe you think it's okay for that, right?
Playing that equity game.
Yeah, there's different strategies.
Yep. So another thing, so every time you see LTV, usually right next to it, you'll see LTC. What is LTC?
In the lending world, LTC is your loan to your cost. So let's just say you're purchasing. Now we're buying the property for $100,000. Well, I'm still only going to loan you a certain percentage of that. Most lenders don't do 100% financing, right? So you have your loan to value, which is one number, but your loan to cost is another number. So your loan to cost is, again, let's just say you're paying $100,000 for that property, or that's your all-in. Your purchase might be 75, plus you have 25,000 in repairs, so your total cost is 100,000. Let's just say they're going to loan you 90, so you have to put 10% down.
10% down.
Right? So that equation is for how much you could actually borrow on that subject property in that deal specifically.
So based on your total cost being purchase price plus rehab.
Yes.
Whatever that might be.
Right.
Roger.
Whatever those numbers are, that's your loan to cost. So it's a pretty common acronym that you see out there, but it kind of varies and changes depending upon your specific investment formula.
Loan to value, so is value your ARV number or is that its current value?
So throwing a lot of acronyms out there, now you have some lenders that look at their loan to ARV, which you see on some pricing sheets, loan to ARV, LT-ARV, or the loan to as-is value, right? So I'm only going to loan, most lenders won't loan over 100% of what the as-is value is. So when you look at an appraisal, all these things are usually in there, not the specific LT-ARV, but the ARV is in there in most hard money appraisals. Also the as-is value is in there, right? So it's all about minimizing the lender's risk, actually minimizing the investor's risk. And so loan to ARV is different from the loan to on the as-is value.
Typical hard money lender, they don't do as-is, well they do, they get that as-is number, but their typical appraisal is a subject to appraisal.
Yes, correct. So the appraisal is done subject to the list of repairs. That's why most most appraisers, they have to know what you intend to do to it, right? What kind of money, and where are you going to invest that money? So when they're looking at it and they're sitting down looking through 3 to 6 comps that they're trying to assess your property based on, they're also looking at your repairs, saying, okay, he's going to put granite in, or he's going to put hardwoods in, right? And so they're going to compare it to houses that are getting similar remodels, right?
So they're literally saying, subject to these repairs,
Correct.
this is the value that it should
and
be.
that's also, so when you if you borrow hard money and you do get an appraisal, most of the time when they ask for that contractor bid or the repair estimate, they actually put it in the PDF with the appraisal. This way they can reference in time, what was that? They're doing this list of repairs to get this valuation.
And when it comes to that repair list, you definitely want to itemize and show what grade then, right?
Sure, yeah, because again, you can't compare a house in a neighborhood that has granite or marble countertops, and then all of a sudden somebody goes and puts in Formica, right? You're gonna not get the same dollar for dollar value on that sort of repair. Same thing with wood floors specifically. So you should always compare when you're looking at your comps, when you're going to buy a house. You should absolutely look at the repairs of the comps and evaluate the pictures. Not just look at the numbers, look at the actual photos and say, oh, this house has laminate, this house has wood-like, right? Or if the whole house is tiled, everything is subject to
the comps.
Yeah, the comps, but the money invested in the property and where you're going to get your dollar for dollar valuation. So that's a few acronyms on loan to ARV and loan to value and loan to cost. So I'm sure you got plenty of questions. Feel free to subscribe to our channel and message us. Get in touch and we'll be happy to answer more questions.
Drop a like and let us know if you have anything.